What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Probably do a quick video. Lately I have on my Integra with the Type R swap, I have the Skunk 2 70mm throttle body, and I know a lot of people say, or they've been reviewed, or talk of the town says that they start to stick. Skunk 2 has a problem with that, and I started experiencing that. I guess the throttle body sticking. So sometimes when I come out of a gear, I'm doing like highway speed, and I come out and it stays at like 2,000 RPMs when I'm at a complete standstill. So I usually have to pump the gas to get it out of there, out of that 2,000 range. So I'm gonna see if I can fix the problem with a little bit of throttle body intake cleaner. $6-7 auto parts store. Hopefully that fixes the problem. It's been a minute since I changed my air filter as well. I mean, cleaned it, because it's a reusable type. I think it's DC Sports, but it's been a minute since I've cleaned it. Been kind of neglecting it. So I'm gonna, I guess, take off the intake piping, air filter piping, and get a look at it, see what it looks like. Okay, so here we have it, the Skunk 2 throttle body. Apparently are notorious for sticking. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. I mean, if you do, post a comment if you were able to fix it with throttle body cleaner, or did you just have to replace the whole deal? But I've been experiencing this problem for the past, let's say, couple weeks. Oh yeah, she's pretty dirty. Definitely dirty. All that black. And my intake is not port matched to 70. It's a little bit smaller. It's probably like a 68, or I don't know what a millimeter measures out to. I'm all inches. So I figure out how to keep this open. I might shove this screwdriver in there somehow. Yeah, that works. The valve's open. Oh yeah, it's pretty dirty. Because also I have the breather crankcase or whatever. It goes into the intake so it can burn it off in the engine. So let me get this going. Now when you do this, never start your car right away. You gotta let I guess the fumes burn off. because you'll have a, wow, look at that. You'll have a, I guess, a crazy idle for a little while until it burns off. Now I don't have any shop towels, so I'm using a napkin. Always spray some on your napkin and get back in there. Now what I'm guessing is it gets a bunch of crud along the edge of the butterfly throttle body flange, or it gets around there and it keeps it from, I guess it makes it stick or whatever. But hopefully it's not the spring. Well, I don't think it's spring because it's pretty, it's got a lot of tension, spring rate tension, or let's check it out. Still got a little bit on top, which I just gotta spray it some more. All that dirt's still coming out. Hopefully that does a trick and I don't have any throttle body sticking, because it's kind of annoying when you're at a stoplight and you're idling at 2,000, 2,500 RPMs and you gotta stomp the gas just so you can get it. Now another thing you could do is take this idle screw out, which that's what I'll do. And now when you do this, you got to remember, what I do is sometimes is tighten it up. How many revolutions? Like here I got it's in that position, so I'll spin it around once. That's a half. Okay, so it's a half to a close, a little over half. I don't know if that's right, but the car seems to be running fine like that. And then you tighten it up when you replace it. When you clean it and put it back on, you tighten it up all the way and then back it out that many. So it's a little dirty, not too bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean that. So I got it cleaned up. I can get it. Now I had a little over half of revolutions, backed out from full bottom, I guess bottomed out. So that's about there, and yeah, it was about half, so that's tight. So you back it out a half to there, and that should run exactly the same. I don't know if that's right, but I mean, like I said, it's been running fine, besides the throttle body sticking. See, like right there, you can see that line. I guess from the other side that I didn't really clean, but let me clean that. I'm gonna put the camera down and do that. So I couldn't really do it because I'm holding the camera to show you, but basically you open up the valve, you slide the paper towel underneath, and then you let it close a little bit, and you got to hold this a little bit open. And when you do that, you have it open, you get this and you slide it back and forth while you're holding this a little bit, so it can kind of slide back and forth, and you'll be able to clean the bottom of the valve. So the other issue I've been having is it doesn't idle anything under 1500 RPMs. I mean, that's constantly like that. I know it's supposed to be down there like 800 RPMs. I've adjusted the idle screw, and when I turn it all the way down, which is full tight, it restricts airflow, so it lowers the RPM. It lowers the RPM. So like you watched earlier, it's only half a turn to full tight, or all the way set in, all the way down. And if I loosen it, it actually raises the RPM. Now this has me thinking that it could be a TPS, or maybe a map sensor. When I loosen up the screw all the way to do some adjustments, starts surging with the RPMs up and down at like 2000, 2500. Goes up and just like it's pulsing. So either that, or I can put the original Type R throttle body back on it and see what happens if it still has the same problems. Because I don't think I ever ran the original Type R. Jeez, I'm shooting blanks. The original Type R manifold with the throttle body. I had the engine out, so I just swapped it. But I don't know. I'll swap it maybe if I can't figure it out, and then update y'all, see what it is. So I still can't figure out the problem. So I guess now I'm just gonna take the skunk tooth throttle body off. I mean, gasket looks good. So I'm gonna swap it with the stock Type R. Stock Type R throttle body. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing if you look at it. I mean, this one's just a little bigger, but I noticed it doesn't have an adjustment. Looks like they epoxied it at the factory. So let me get it on and I'll show you what happens. So it's first started with the Type R throttle body, and it's running at 1000 RPMs at cold. So I'm gonna let it warm up and see what happens. Might take a cruise around the block. Seems to run a lot smoother than before.
Yeah. The needle's not jumping. It's not idling up and idling down.
So I think the cause, well, I don't know yet, but it might have been the skunk tooth throttle body. Then again, guys, I've had the skunk tooth throttle body for 3 years maybe now. And since I've got the swap, I had it on there. What? How long ago did I get the swap?
2 years? Year and a half?
About a year. I think about a year. I've had the swap for about a year now. So I'm guessing that, well, it's climbing now, so and the RPM looks like it lowered another 100 RPMs. Yeah. Give some gas. Let's see where it drops to.
850.
About 850. So that's a big improvement. I mean, the engine sounds really calm now. Oh, this came off. I don't know what that squeaking is. Oh, it's a hood. Well, I think the problem was the skunk 2 throttle body. I mean, it was good to me for a while, but I don't know exactly what on it failed. But the thing on this Type R throttle body is, I don't know if you guys have one, but you're not able to adjust the idle screw. That guy. I mean, I'm paying mind to that. So I think I got it figured out. Besides driving it and see if the idle sticks at like 3,000. I'll give you an update when I do a test drive. So it's been it's been idling for a good 10 minutes now, and it's basically right there where you want it. What is that? 1, 2, 3. About 800 RPMs. We'll take it for a little rip. Yeah, right there would have the RPMs would have stuck at like 2,000. I don't know, man. I think that would have been. I think that might have been the culprit. The throttle cable does feel a little different, I guess, because of the difference in the springs and the throttle body. Yeah, I just push in the clutch and it drops all the way down to where it should be at. So I guess my problem was the throttle body. I mean, I didn't really find the exact problem on the throttle body, but I mean, if you have a skunk 2 throttle body and you're having these issues, I mean, chances are it's something in the throttle body is wrong. I wish I knew exactly what on the throttle body on the skunk 2, but I mean, I had this original throttle body on there, so I threw it on and all is well in my area. So I don't know, if you have a stock throttle body, try that on. If it works better, maybe the gasket was bad, but I looked at this gasket that I got, that I took off and replaced. It looked fine, so I didn't have an air leak. But I mean, on to the next one. This is Gilbert with Ratchet Rice Rockets. See you on the next one.